Life is like a dream. Life is like a long dream. We are born, we learn, we suffer, we go through things, we laugh, we succeed, we fail, we die. But the question everyone has is, what happened after death? And I'm sitting here today after one night of ayahuasca, one session of Bufo Yopo, the toad, 5-MeO DMT, and the last session yesterday of Yopo, a mix between Bufo and ayahuasca. Do I have the answer to life? I had it, especially when I was in the Bufo trip, going into this rocket ship, launched into not even the universe, I call it the source code. I was everywhere, all places at the same time. The issue is, I knew the answer in the trip, but I don't have it now. Because I know and understand that the mind cannot break down something that is beyond the mind. So why even bother to try? We seek our whole lives, we seek after answers, try to understand, but I think the key is to stop seeking. The key is try not to understand. Now I know it's easy for me to sit here and say this after having a beautiful moment, beautiful experiences, but that's the only solution I have to life. What I experienced was a feeling of being the creator, not as me, this physical body, but as actually being the creator, as one single unit. The past, the future collapsed into one instant. And I realized the only thing I have to do is just to live my life. Life is already complete. It's one instant. Trying to understand it, trying to control it, seeking, it keeps us stuck. It brings suffering. Now, suffering is a part of this whole game, of this whole thing called life. Everything is a part of it. Pain, grief, happiness, it's just a flow. The key to life is welcoming it with open arms. Surrender to each moment, like this one. Being here with presence, not thinking about tomorrow, not thinking about yesterday, not thinking about what happened in the trip, but just embrace the moment and accept whatever comes to me, and whatever happens, happens. Because when you do that, when you actually embrace life as it is, suffering ends. And what merges is a beautiful experience. You find beauty in sorrow. You find beauty in pain. You find beauty in the dark. Be who you are. Be who you are supposed to be. Don't try to change that. Express yourself. dance, create, love. Talked to many people here at the retreat, and everyone went through different things, different journeys, different realizations. But the common thing was almost everyone somehow understood what they have to do, the mission, the goal afterwards. And I love it. It's like lessons you bring with you. You can finally see clearly. The medicine opens you up, it helps you to see clearly the things you have been avoiding, and you get realizations. And one question that lingers in many minds, even my mind before, is how do I get back to this state? How do I find my way back home? What if I don't want to drink ayahuasca? What if I don't want to take psychedelics? You're already home. You're already home. It feels like you are lost. It feels like you are sometimes in a dark, lonely road. But that's home. This whole thing is home. Life. Ups and downs. Just follow your heart. And do what you are doing. You are never wrong. You're never on the wrong path. You're never lost. It might feel like that. But think about it. Whenever you look back on your life, you realize somehow that things happen for a reason. And if you can look back and realize that things happen for a reason, you can also look forward and realize that things will unfold as it should be. So why carry the weight of being a controller? Just let it go. Breathe. And remember, when you're lost, there is a voice inside you guiding you. Now, my Yopo experience yesterday, it was different. It was calm. I thought it was supposed to be much harder. But it was perfect. It was enough for me. I was just floating with the music. I was dancing. And I think from my Bufo experience that I had before, I somehow already felt connected and open. So the Yopo was embracing the medicines from this weekend, the feelings, in one moment, and just take this lesson I had with me to actually enjoy life. And I brought it to the ceremony, last night's ceremony in the Yopo. There was no harsh moments of physical pain or disturbance. It was just, in Spanish we say suave, floating. And the best part was dancing, connecting with people. You know, everyone was just happy. And in some moment I was just thinking, what if the world could be like this, you know? Everyone just dancing, joking. Everyone was just joking, throwing jokes, laughing, you know. I won't sit here and say, why isn't a world like a happy place, and why is it wars and things like that? It won't lead me anywhere. I realized that the only thing I can do is just express, not to tell you what to do, not to tell others what to do, or even myself, just express, just be. By being, by letting go, you bring this good energy, this presence, and people feel it. You feel it. At the end of the day, we're all one same unit. I promise, I swear. I remember in the Bufo, there were people around me, and I just opened my eyes a few times. I was still tripping hard. And I saw these faces, and there weren't words. It was just a pure understanding that we're one. I just wanted to kiss that face. It was so beautiful. I mean, the people, the gratitude. And I know this is awareness. This is what we call presence, or this purity. And even though I might not feel it all the times afterwards, I remember it. That's the most important part, to remember. Remember that you're connected to everyone. As soon as your mind brings up the judgment, drop it. Welcome it, but then drop it. Let it go. Because you know, hurting yourself, judging another, judging another, is judging yourself and hurting yourself. I don't know what will happen now in my life or what I will do, but I just have faith. Everything is written. Life is a dream. And one day, I don't know what will happen. I want to say one day I will wake up, but I'm already awake. It was a funny moment, or many moments during the Yopo yesterday too, this thought of, okay, I experiencing past and future. Like in that moment when I was experiencing it, it's just there's no time. It's just, it feels like everything is just still, but still moving. And I'd be like, okay, but if it is like this, like what happens? Does it ever end? You know, if there is no time, is there any ending? And I started to have this panic feeling. Not panic attack, panic feeling. I was like, fuck. Or if creation already is like this and I am just creation, I am the creator. Like, dude, I'm alone. But then I realized these are just thoughts, my ego. It can't comprehend it. And when I was letting go, no labeling, no conditioning, boom, boom, unconditional love, just pure energy. And that's what I mean. Like when you stop trying to comprehend and understand, because the thinking is what creates this panic, suffering. But when you stop doing that, when you just embrace and welcoming and not trying to make sense of it, it makes sense. But not in a logical way, not in words. It just makes sense in a way that can't be described in words. When the seeking ends, the seeker disappears. And when the seeker disappears, the suffering disappears with it, or with him. Observing without an observer. Doing without any doer. Thinking without a thinker. Meditating without a meditator. Being. I think this is the end. I will make some notes and hopefully bring this whole journey into life as a movie, documentary. So, see you at the other side.